Hello, my name is Florian. I'm a software engineering manager, and today I want to talk about how to stay focused while doing software development and also how to actually get into this mode of being focused. So let's start with how do you actually get focused? What helped me is what's called the Pomodoro Technique. And the Pomodoro Technique is named after tomato kitchen timer. And the idea is that you set the timer for 25 minutes. You force yourself to stay on the task, focused for 25 minutes, no distraction allowed. And then after those 25 minutes, you get 5 minutes to do whatever you want. And then again, 25 minutes, 5 minutes, 25 minutes, 5 minutes, you got the idea, right? So now my trick is whenever I set the 25 minutes timer, usually on my phone, I set it in such a way that I don't have an alarm. It's just a countdown, right? But there is no alarm noise. The idea being that once I started to finally accept that I have to do this work and that I need to stay focused now, I don't want to ruin the focus by having an alarm going off. And this often works the second or the third 25 minutes where you then just keep on doing what you were doing and keep on doing the task without even realizing that the timer expired. And that's exactly this zone that you want to be in while doing software engineering work. Of course, for the 5 minutes, I still set the timer. It's important, right, that you get out of this. Sometimes I also just skip the 5 minutes because I realize, well, I want to keep going. And that's exactly why the Pomodoro technique is working for me, because it really helps me getting out of this procrastination mode or getting out of, Monday morning, you're a little bit tired. You want to scroll the internet. It feels so tempting. Let's just watch one more YouTube video, right? And then, of course, having this kind of discipline helps a lot. To be honest, nowadays in my current job, I anyhow don't have this problem because I'm mostly dominated by meetings, right? So I already have this slices of time set out in my calendar, and I don't have to motivate myself because I always work with other people, right? I don't do that much software engineering work myself. It's more talking to other software engineers. So this is really something that I used in the past when I still did a lot more software development. Okay, so that's how you get into this focused mode. And now it's important to keep distractions to a minimum. Why is it important? Well, because every time you get distracted and you lose focus, it can take you up to 15 minutes or even more to get back to where you actually were before you were distracted. Now imagine you work 8 hours a day and you get distracted 4 times. 4 times 15 minutes, that's an hour. An hour of an 8-hour workday that you just lost due to distractions. And that's, of course, not really ideal, and that's not what makes you the productive programmer that you want to be. So, what do you need to do to limit distractions? Well, first of all, the easiest way is close your computer and just sit there, right? Be focused. No, that's not working, right? We are working with our computer. So we need to turn off everything in our computer that will distract us, like email notifications, messenger notifications that you might have there, social media notifications, and so on and so on. So turn those off if you can really live without them, if they will not help you either solve business critical or life threatening situations, right? If you're a DevOps engineer and you get a notification that your production system is down, yes, that's a notification you cannot turn off, right? Or if your wife is pregnant, right, and you're waiting for a child to be born, don't turn off your phone, right? Those are the level of notifications that are still okay while you want to be focused. Everything that's lower than that, try to avoid it. Now, that might be hard when you work in a team, right? Because a team also lives from talking to each other, from chatting with each other via Teams, via Slack, and so on. So, what might help there is defining times, power hours, or however you might want to call it, where you can work distraction free, where you're not allowed to set meetings, where you're not allowed to chat each other, where you are allowed to enable do not disturb and really be focused on the task you have. And of course, it's easy to turn on do not disturb in Microsoft Teams, right? It's just a click of a button and then nobody can call you. But it might be harder once you are in an office environment and people can just walk up your desk. But also there is a universal do not disturb sign within software engineering, and that's noise canceling headphones. Whenever you sit in an office environment like this, that's a clear sign this person does not want to be disturbed, is concentrated on some work. Please do not disturb, right? Wait for this person to take off the headphones and then you can talk to this person. And just, I've said I don't do that much software development anymore, but what I do as a manager is I travel a lot with airplanes. And I just want to say, if you see somebody sitting with noise canceling headphones in an airplane, it's not an invitation to pull them off his ear and start talking. Yeah. I personally really find this annoying, and sometimes after a long work day flying home, I just want to sit back, close my eyes, hear music, don't do any conversation, right? So please respect that both in the office and especially in airplanes. Okay, that being said, limit distractions, right? Find ways to really reduce distractions. You can also use monitoring tools that you sometimes now even have built in your devices, like in the iPhone where you have screen time, right? That you figure out what are your main distractions. Is this really something that you should more control? Things like that, right? It might also be good to keep your phone away from your desk, or at least in a drawer somewhere, right? So they don't pull it out while your code is compiling and then check Twitter and then you keep scrolling, right? That might also be a good advice. And then one other thing, speaking of productivity, is task switching, right? Task switching is something that costs a lot of productivity, costs a lot of energy to switch from one task to the other. So it helps to prevent that, to get more done. And the idea here is plan out your day, plan out time slots for the different tasks, right? When you're supposed to work on a new feature and debug another feature, it's good to have sort of cycles planned where you do the work on a new feature and have cycles planned where you do the debugging, and don't just jump from one to the other. And while the new feature is compiling to do a test run, you do debugging for 4 minutes and then you switch back, right? That's not really efficient. And also here, what can help is really using the Pomodoro technique and using those time slots, these time slices, to define, okay, now I'm doing 4 of those on a new feature, then I'm doing 2 debugging, then I'm doing 4 on the new feature again, and so on, right? So that might be helpful to become more productive as programming, to become a better programmer. And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to help you become a better software engineer. And if you want to see more content like in this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. And as always, destroy the like button. And if you have something that you would want to see in one of my videos, or if you have also advice on how to stay focused, how to be a more productive programmer, please comment down below, and I see you in the next video.